this one lady's, she had her 2 little kids in the car, and she was trying to get through on lane, and they were doing obscene gestures, talking foul, and they mooned them right on the face of their window.
Ms. Ganna, unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to wrap up. The 5 minutes is expired.
Well, that's probably most of it. But once, like, if the police are standing there or sitting there somewhere and watching the kids, they're not really doing anything. But as soon as this one policeman left one day, the kids came out of the woodwork. It's like they all call each other, and they know when the police are gone. Well, thank you for your time.
I appreciate you coming out tonight. Thank you, ma'am. Next, we've got Tasha House, please. And again, while Ms. House is coming up, we've got a sign-up sheet at the door there. So if you would like to speak to the alderman, this will help us keep track of who is speaking and give us some order to the event tonight. So, Ms. House, welcome.
Thank you. Board, I want to address you as a resident of Raytown all of my life. I attended elementary, middle, and high school here in Raytown. I initiated the interim of my son to the school of Raytown, and I feel I have an investment in the neighborhood that I live in. I live off of 84th and Lane. My address is 8438, and I need to emphasize everything that the other residents have said, with the addition that I would like to see some legal accountability to parents, because this isn't just an issue about the children that are having problems with violence in the neighborhood. This is a parental responsibility. And I think that all the neighbors that live in my block are definitely concerned about the safety of the neighborhood, safety of all children, regardless if they're wearing red or white or regular clothes. They need to be safe. It's the responsibility of all parents, and I'd like to see something issued from this board, if possible, or support of the community through our neighborhood associations or other community members, to look at other neighborhoods that have had success in trying to make these changes, utilizing the city and the county support, looking at Ruskin Heights and some of these areas that have had challenges similar to this, and coming up with something that, as a group of council members, as neighbors, we can come together and make parents legally responsible for their children. And in any way that you can do that, we would be supportive. And I just wanted to make that comment. Thank you.
Excellent points. Thank you, Ms. House. Next, we've got Wanda Flood, please. Evening.
I'm Wanda Flood, and I live at 8300 Stark. 2 years ago, my house was broken into and literally trashed. Anything that could be turned over was, or turned upside down was. But the latest was the night the school was out, my car was trashed. They caved in the roof of the car, the interiors caved in, broke the windshield, and they kicked in the front panel on the driver's side. And as of right now, they have estimated over $3,000 repair bill on it. And I don't have that kind of money to be paying to have anything fixed. So that's what I want to express to you, that something needs to be done with these youth that are running around tearing up property. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Flood. Terry Jones, please. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Terry Jones. I'm the Vice President of the Lane Estates Homeowners Association, which is located on 85th Place and 85th Terrace. I just wanted to kind of add on to what has been going on also in our area. There are some people who are driving through yards on 85th Terrace, driving between some apartments through the yards. There has been a house that's been egged on Lane a couple times, as well as someone spray painted a very derogatory picture on this person's home. Also, her son has been called several racial names and told to get in the house. There's a car on 85th Terrace also that has been egged several times. The president of our association, his car was broken into. He's on 85th Place. It appears that it seems like several of the people who may be doing this are coming from the Brittany Place apartments, from that area, I'll put it that way, and they hang out on Lane, which I think has been emphasized several times, between 87th Street and 83rd Street, and definitely down to 83rd Street. Also, it appears that some of the youth live in the two duplexes that are on 84th Street, I believe, near 84th and Lane. I believe I totally agree with the person who stated I think that the parents should be held responsible for some of these activities because they should be. And lastly, I'd just like to say that on a personal note, my parents were in town one year, and this happened maybe 2 years ago, and the two high schools were playing, and whichever school lost, the police feel that there was some damage that was done to my father's car, his truck. He's a veteran, and they live out of town. He had Kansas tags, Salina, Kansas tags on his car, and they just obliterated his windshield. And so I just think that we need to just bind together and work together to try to find some answers for how we can do this. Currently, our association is getting with the Raytown Police so that we can get a neighborhood watch set up in our area. And when we do have that meeting, we're going to invite everyone in the surrounding area to see who all wants to participate. But I think that we can't put this all on the board. It has to be the city and the people who live in the city to be able to go and to be able to fight these battles all together so we can keep Raytown the way we want Raytown as far as a city where we want to live in. Thank you for your time.
Ms. Jones, thanks for coming out tonight. Next, we've got Gary and Charity Burnside. Now, after the Burnsides, we only have one other person that's signed up. So again, if you want to speak to the board on this matter tonight, I'll ask the clerk to pick up the latest sign-in sheet then. And with that, Ms. Hershey, you're up next after the Burnsides. Welcome. Good evening.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you and being able to allow us this little bit of time. We're going to just get right to the point. We live at 10408 East 79th Street. We've been residents of Raytown for about 9 years. We live in a pretty good neighborhood. We have seen an increase in foot traffic. We've seen a lot of youth in gang, just in a group. They can be a little disturbing at times and what have you. One thing I have noticed that I've had some material and equipment taken out of my company vehicle at one time, and we just want to know what can we do as far as getting with the police department, getting with City Hall, as far as coming up with some type of watch group to kind of help deter some of these things that we see are going to become a problem. My wife and I, we talked about trying to get with our neighbors and things like that so we can get with the police department and whoever so that we can try to deter some of these things. I agree with Ms. House. A lot of this is going to lie on the parents. It's going to be their responsibilities to make sure that their youth are doing what they should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing. We just pretty much, we came out tonight because we're in support. I seen the lady on the news the other night, and she was inviting everyone to come out. And we just hope that we can get the support, not from just our community, but even from the board and police department, so we can kind of get this thing to a halt.
We're part of those responsible parents who want to take accountability for our children. We are the parents of 3, 2 in high school at Raytown South, and 1 future kindergartner. And we are concerned about what we see. And also, I recently found out that if you think the foot control is going to stop as summer ends, Raytown School District has started, as of this school year, a professional work day where they'll be releasing from K through 12 out early throughout the district. So you'll have on Wednesdays. So you will have all children on each level at all schools in Raytown released around 10:25 every Wednesday this year. So we ask that you please keep that in mind and try to do something so that we can get some control of our neighborhoods. Thank you.
I want to thank both of you for coming out tonight.